The news with the Outcasts on Serious and Silliness Outcast. I am doing it solo today. My partner Justin was unable to join me, but the news must go on because the news just continuously goes on. So last night was the State of Union address, and I'm sure nobody watched it because it's boring as hell. But surprisingly, Joe Biden was actually coherent. He put sentences together. He made sense. I don't know if they gave him an adrenaline shot or some kind of brain function pill. I don't know what the hell happened, but he actually put together a decent State of the Union, which is sad to say that the only thing you're expecting from the American president is that he doesn't fall over. He could actually complete a sentence. I mean, that's sad. Anyway, but the best part was the next day, the front page of the Post, he's alive. That was just priceless. That was great. So I watched a little bit of it. I'll give you what I took away from it. Um, Personally, I think he's trying to tell the Democratic Party, look, I'm your guy. I could beat Trump. I'm still very virile and coherent and energetic and so on and so forth. Because there's a lot of rumors floating around about Michelle Obama, about Gavin Newsom, blah, 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 who knows, so on and so forth. I think that's kind of what he went for. If I'm right, that's kind of what I took away for it. It's just my opinion, right? So some of the things that he actually addressed: abortion, Roe versus Wade. He's trying to fight to go back to Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court judges were there. Nobody clapped when he talked about it, which is really interesting because it was 6-3 that they voted for getting overturning Roe versus Wade, and they really stayed unified because when he was talking about it, even the ones that didn't vote to overturn it didn't clap. They were like, "Nope, sorry, that was our decision," so on and so forth. Then, of course, talked about he talked about supporting the Ukraine and sending more money and blah 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 blah. What Putin won't stop there, and so it's unbelievable because the American people just sitting there going, "You are so busy worried about that country when we have so many problems here, like the immigration problem that we have going. I think we have 10 million illegals at this point that have come in, and then are some of them are actually, graping and murdering or just stealing or beating up cops in New York City and fleeing, and we have all these issues going on." And you're still worried about Ukraine spending and sending billions and trillions of dollars. Meanwhile, we have these issues at home that you're not addressing. All right. He did defended transgenderism, of course, blah, blah, blah. He talked about taxing billionaires. Um, it was just, he did better. He did better than most people thought. Put it that way. But the scary part is that this wasn't the norm for Joe Biden. The norm of Joe Biden is this was the exception. And unfortunately, that's not what we need from an American president. We don't need the exception to be the rule. We need it to be the rule, if that makes sense. Let's go on to some other topics, okay? There was this one article that really drove me crazy. And a lot of these articles you're not going to see in mainstream media. I don't know why, but you're not going to see it. Okay. Maybe because it's not what their policies want or not the topics at hand that they want to speak about. I don't know exactly. But here is the problem. Okay. This one drives me absolutely crazy. This is my biggest pet peeve. This is from 2Fab. Okay. Dad accused of fleeing scene of car crash involving entire family, killing teen daughter. He allegedly told police he drank vodka while driving his family home, while body cam footage of his arrest and mugshot showed he had two black eyes and a busted up face, and he was apprehended in another vehicle 12 hours later. A man in Bixby, Oklahoma, is accused of abandoning his family on the side of the road after a car crash which claimed the life of his 16-year-old daughter. According to the Bixby police chief, Todd Blish, Elliot Binney was driving his wife, teen daughter Shelby, and two other elementary school children home from around 9 p.m. on January 11th when the incident occurred. A vehicle was discovered to have passed in a no passing zone and lost control in the rain. A vehicle flipped and overturned. All right, look, nothing makes my blood boil more than a weak man. And your whole purpose as a man, father, husband is to, in the face of crisis, is to protect your family. And this guy did the complete exact opposite. He was a coward and he ran. The only thing that makes me more crazy than this is the woman that chose to procreate with him, right? So now you have a daughter who's no longer with you. Now, I don't know if what the circumstances were, but apparently he was drinking while driving, which is bad enough when you have family in the car. But then he gets into this terrible accident and then he takes off and he's in some other car. I don't know if he stole a car to get away. I have no idea. But obviously, this man his life is nothing but chaos and should not have been a father to begin with. And nothing drives me crazier than a weak man that staring into the face of crisis just tuck tails and run, especially when it comes to your daughters, your sons, your wife, your mothers, your family. You are, as far as I'm concerned, you are a worthless human being. Because as men, that's what we are supposed to do. Like it or not, that is what you're supposed to do. Given the credit or not, that's what you are supposed to do. And somebody like that, I'm sorry, you should never see the light of day again. You basically got into a car accident, your daughter died, and you left and you were drunk. You're just a horrible human being as far as I'm concerned. Next article. I'm sorry that I'm being so serious, but some of these are really serious. This is a good one too. This is from USA Today. Shoppers call out Kellogg CEO cereal for dinner pitch for struggling families. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. Kellogg's year-old campaign promoting cereal for dinner got some new life last week after the company's CEO, Gary Pilnick, mentioned mentioned it seems to be landing really well with American consumers. His remarks made in a live interview with CNBC, of course it would be on CNBC, caught the attention of some shoppers whose response has been nothing but great. That was a pun on Frosted Flakes. Okay. Advertising cereal for dinner is a way better deal with the steep cost of groceries right now. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they'd otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable. So that's what you're saying. You're saying that a nutritious dinner is so expensive now, you're better off giving your kids Frosted Flakes. Are we just living in fantasy world at this point? Do you not have a soul? Are you so selfish and so money hungry that you will tell the American public that a cereal, breakfast cereal, sugary breakfast cereal, which most families don't even give their kids anymore for breakfast, let alone dinner, is a good alternative if you can't afford a nutritious meal? I mean, because I guarantee you he doesn't give his kids that on dinner time. I guarantee you they have, you know, a great nutritious meal at dinner time, guaranteed. I don't see the CEO of Kellogg sitting around the dinner table with his family eating Rice Krispies or Lucky Charms or whatever other shitty cereal that you have. I mean, it's just pathetic. It's just absolutely pathetic, and I'm sorry. I understand people are poor and people can't afford it, but that is not an option. Giving your kids cereal is not an option. I understand being poor. I don't understand being irresponsible. Because if you have food stamps, you could buy nutritious food. Just absolutely ridiculous. All right. Let's go to the next topic. Let's see. This one's a doozy too. This one's unbelievable. Fox News. Oklahoma school investigated after video shows kids licking toes for fundraiser. Yeah. Yeah. Oklahoma authorities are investigating a local high school after footage from a fundraiser event appeared to show students sucking and licking one's toes last week. The footage from Deer Creek High School in Edmond, Oklahoma, shocked and disgusted social media users across the country this weekend. Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters soon announced an investigation into the incident, calling it disgusting. The footage originally obtained by Fox 25 was taken during a week-long fundraiser for a local coffee shop that employs people with special needs. Students from 9th through 12th grade volunteered to take part in various class competitions the students paid to attend, according to the outlet. The video shows students volunteering who were paired up, sitting on chairs, while the other laid down below and licked peanut butter off their toes. I swear to God, it's just, you know what? It's very difficult doing this alone because with Justin, at least it's funny. He makes jokes. I laugh. It's funny. But doing this is what kind of world are we living in? I don't even let my dog lick my peanut butter off her toes. My dogs love peanut butter. I give it to him in a spoon and I give it to him and I throw him right in the dishwasher. I mean, who made this decision? Who said to themselves, "Oh, this is a good idea"? What person in the education department said, "I know what we could do for a fundraiser"? Whoever that person is needs to be found out, needs to be penalized, and needs to never work around children ever again for the rest of his or her life. Because this is child abuse. And actually, Ted Cruz said it too. Ted Cruz actually addressed this issue and said it was child abuse. But we'll never see this on mainstream media. Why? Why would we see that on mainstream media? No, because, we don't have to. Fuck it. Kids lick peanut butter off teenagers' feet. Fine. That's fine. I mean, give me a break, man. How does a parent, how as a parent do you stay calm? Uh, all right. Next article. Yahoo News. Key takeaways from Super Tuesday. Why Trump won. Why Trump won and what means for November. Why Trump won. I can tell you why Trump won because nobody cares about Nikki Haley. Nobody even knew who this person was. I think she only won in Vermont and DC. That was it. Everything else, Trump just destroyed her in. She should have never, she should have never, right? She should have pulled out with the rest of them because she was losing by such a large margin. It was unbelievable. Now, here's the best part. After she loses and she comes out, and she goes, Donald Trump will most likely be the Republican nominee and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. She said she's not going to support him, though, as the Republican nominee. What do you mean you're not going to support him? What are you going to do? You're a Republican. You're in the Republican Party. He is going to be the Republican nominee. What are you going to do? I mean, this is why, call the Democrats what you want to call them, but they don't shy from their twisted, crazy antics. They all stick together like glue, and then the Republicans are falling apart like this. I just don't get it. You know what this reminds me of? The movie My Cousin Vinny, when Marissa Tomei is on the stand and Joe Pesci asks the questioner and she won't answer him, and the judge says, "Please answer him," and she goes, "I can't." And he goes, "Why?" Just because I hate him. That's what it reminded me. Like, look, God, he beat me. I hate him. Can't do it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right. Next time I'm dragging Justin because I'm gonna have a blood clot. I'm gonna have a hemorrhage. I'm gonna get a stroke. I'm gonna freak the fuck out doing the news. It's unfucking believable. All right. A funny one. Thank God. Last article, I left for it to be funny. This is from the Daily News, actually. Man sends 100s, I guess over 100, of used dildo. How did I know they used? Would you smell each one of them? Of used dildos to the White House on Valentine's Day so Joe Biden can go F himself. Think about this, right? You have to take the time to put over 100 dildos in a box. But I don't even know where you get 100 dildos. I have one in my house, and that's because I used it for a Halloween party. Don't ask. So this guy either had to go collect them, he had to go buy them. According to them that say it's used, I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know how they know it's used. Is there a DNA test? I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then this guy had to actually go to the post office and mail it to the White House as if President Biden would actually get the package. Like it doesn't go through layers of people before it gets to him. There we go. Washington, D.C. Kurt Fellow, 67, is being held by the Secret Service at an undisclosed location after a shipment containing closely to 1,000 previously used sex toys. Dildos arrived at the White House on Valentine's Day. 1,000. All right, because oh God. The letter attached to the shipment said, "Happy Valentine's Day, Sleepy Joe. Since you like to F all of us, why don't you go F yourself?" Kurt Fellows is a national hero now. While sending an unsolicited shipment of dildos to the president is grounds for arrest, not to mention a possible health concern, the addition of the letter, which for reasons of national security cannot be fully disclosed to the public at this time, put Kurt Fellows at the top of the to-do list for the Secret Service. Federal agents went to Kurt Fellows' Montana ranch and arrested him without incident. Once in custody, the self-proclaimed patriot became belligerent and aggressive to the point where he had to be sedated and put into a straitjacket. Ah, okay. So he was resisting. Letters from family. Well, he was more than resisting. They put him into a straight. Did you guys ever see one of those modern day straitjackets? It's not like it was years ago. You're laying down and they chain you, like you're laying down and they chain you with this mechanism that change your hands to your feet and you can't move, and then they pick you up from like your shoulders and then your feet, and they just throw you in the car. And sometimes they even put a helmet on you if you're spitting or biting or banging your head against the wall. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing if you ever see it. I'll actually see if I can get a picture of it. It is understood that Kurt Fellows had been collecting used sex toys from like-minded women in the Montana area that were more than pleased with the idea of President receiving a giant shipment of their sex toy for Valentine's Day. No official statement from the White House has been released at time of this writing. So what do you go door to door? How do you advertise that? Like, do you put that on Facebook Marketplace? Like, in need for dildos, please send. I mean, I'll tell you, man. I don't know if I should continue doing the news because I think the world is just coming to just a ready to explode. It's unbelievable. You go from what to what. But next time, Justin better be here because the first two articles almost made me hemorrhage. All right, guys, listen. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Later. And like, subscribe, share.